The person who cannot be broken, cannot be bought, and cannot be moved by the chaos around them did not arrive that way. They built it. Daily. That person is not a myth. They are not a personality type distributed randomly among the lucky few who happen to be born with the right temperament. They are the result of a specific set of daily habits practiced with consistency and philosophical grounding over time until those habits stopped being things they did and started being who they are. The Stoics called this state apatheia, not apathy in the modern sense of not caring. Something entirely different and entirely more powerful. The state of a person who is no longer governed by the automatic, reactive, destabilizing pull of external events. Who can stand in the middle of difficulty, uncertainty, provocation, and loss, and remain grounded, clear, fully themselves, untouchable, not because nothing reaches them, but because nothing that reaches them has the power to remove them from themselves. Today we are building that. 10 daily habits, each one a specific, Stoic grounded, practically applicable practice that, worked on consistently every single day, builds the untouchable quality that most people spend their entire lives wishing they had and never understanding how to construct. If you are new to this channel, welcome. We go deep into Stoic philosophy and human psychology and bring both directly into the real texture of your life. No surface-level content. The real thing. Subscribe right now and hit the bell notification. We release these videos regularly, and every single one is built for people who are serious about understanding themselves and building something real. Subscribe now. Let us begin. Part 1. What untouchable actually means. Before the habits, the philosophy. Because habits without philosophical grounding are just routines. And routines, however disciplined, do not produce the untouchable quality the Stoics were pointing toward. They produce busy people, sometimes very disciplined busy people, but not the specific quality of inner freedom that is the goal of everything that follows. Untouchable in the Stoic sense does not mean invulnerable. The Stoics were not teaching emotional numbness. Marcus Aurelius grieved. Epictetus felt the full weight of his circumstances. Seneca wrote about fear and loss and the ache of mortality with a tenderness that reveals a person who felt everything. What it means is this: the untouchable person has relocated the source of their stability from outside themselves to inside. From the behavior of other people, the outcomes of their plans, the opinions of the world, to the quality of their own character, their own values, their own daily practice. And that relocation, which sounds simple and requires everything, is what these 10 habits build. One day at a time. Every day, without exception. Habit 1. Begin every day by owning your mind before anything else does. The first and most important habit is the one that determines the quality of everything that follows it. And it operates in the space of the first 10 minutes of the day, the most philosophically significant 10 minutes available to you in the full 24 hours. Before anything external enters, before the phone, before the news, before the first conversation, before any other person's urgency, opinion, or emotional weather reaches you, you sit with your own mind, deliberately, intentionally, for 10 minutes that belong entirely to you. Marcus Aurelius called this the morning preparation, and in the meditations you can see exactly what his version looked like. He would orient himself to his values, remind himself of the Stoic principles he was committed to living by, prepare himself for the specific challenges the day was likely to bring, and set an intention for the quality of person he was going to be, not what he was going to achieve, who he was going to be. The reason this habit is foundational to becoming untouchable is this: the person who begins the day reactively, who immediately hands the first moments of consciousness to the phone and the news and other people's agendas, has already surrendered the governing of their inner life before the day has properly begun. By the time they arrive at the first genuine challenge of the day, they are already operating from a scattered, externally conditioned, reactively assembled version of themselves. They are already partially owned by what they have consumed. The person who begins the day with genuine inner orientation arrives at the first challenge from a completely different position. They know what they value. They have already decided who they are today. They meet the difficulty not cold, but prepared, by their own mind, on their own terms. That preparation is not armor. It is not a wall. It is the simple, daily, profoundly effective practice of making sure that you are the first and primary influence on your own inner state every morning. On your mind first, every morning, before anyone or anything else gets the chance. Habit 2. Train your body as an act of philosophical discipline. The second habit connects the physical and the philosophical in a way that the Stoics understood completely and that most modern fitness culture misses entirely. Move your body every single day, not for aesthetics, not for performance metrics, as a philosophical act, as the daily practice of doing what you said you would do regardless of how you feel about doing it. The Stoics understood that the body and the mind are in constant conversation, that the discipline applied to the physical domain directly strengthens the discipline available in every other domain, that the person who shows up for their body on the days they do not feel like it is building the exact same capacity that shows up when they need to do the hard thing in a relationship, in their work, in their inner life. Epictetus was explicit. The philosopher who neglects the body neglects an important arena of practice, not because physical strength is the goal, because the daily choice to govern the body rather than be governed by comfort is one of the most consistent and most reliable practices for building genuine self-command. The untouchable quality is not built in comfortable conditions. It is built in the moments when you do the thing anyway. When the alarm goes off and nothing about your body wants to move and you move anyway. When the workout is hard and quitting is available and you finish anyway. When the discomfort is real and the easy choice is right there and you choose the harder one anyway. Each of those moments is a deposit in the account of genuine self-governance. And that account, built daily over years, produces a quality of inner solidity that no comfortable life can replicate. Train your body every day, not to look different, to be different, to practice, in the most concrete and honest domain available, the daily choice of discipline over convenience that untouchable people make without drama and without negotiation. Habit 3. Consume wisdom instead of noise. The third habit governs what you allow into your mind through the information you consume. And it is one of the most urgently needed habits in the contemporary world precisely because the contemporary world has made the alternative, the consumption of constant, high-volume, algorithmically optimized noise, so effortless and so immediately available. Every day, consume wisdom, deliberately, intentionally, in exchange for a portion of the noise. For the Stoics, this meant reading deeply, slowly, engaging with material that challenged the mind and expanded the understanding of what it means to be human. Seneca recommended a small number of serious books read carefully over a large number of books read quickly. The depth of engagement, not the volume of consumption. In practical terms today, the habit is this. Every day, 30 minutes of genuine wisdom consumption, philosophy, serious literature, substantive biography, genuine psychology, replaces 30 minutes of whatever noise currently fills that space. Not instead of all entertainment, instead of 30 minutes of it. Every day, the untouchable person is not untouchable because they feel nothing. They are untouchable because they think clearly, because the quality of their thinking, the framework through which they interpret events, the values they bring to decisions, the perspective available to them in difficult moments, has been built through genuine intellectual engagement rather than assembled from the random noise of an information environment designed to destabilize rather than to strengthen. 30 minutes of wisdom every day. Over a year, that is more than 180 hours of genuine intellectual development. Over a decade, it is the difference between a mind that has been genuinely cultivated and a mind that has been passively shaped by whatever the algorithm decided to feed it. Consume deliberately. Build the mind that nothing can easily disturb because it has been given too much genuine depth to be moved by shallow provocations. Habit 4. Practice the daily death of worry through negative visualization. The fourth habit is the one that sounds darkest and produces the most light. And it is the one that the Stoics practiced with a consistency that reveals how seriously they took its capacity to transform the quality of daily life. Every day, spend 5 minutes practicing negative visualization. The deliberate, calm, honest contemplation of loss. Not spiraling anxiety about what might go wrong. Not catastrophizing. The specific Stoic practice of sitting with the genuine awareness that the things you value, your health, your relationships, your work, your freedom, are not permanent. That they could be different. That they will, eventually, change or end. And then returning to the present moment where they are still here. Still real. Still available. Seneca practiced this consistently. He wrote about it as one of the most powerful tools available for the twin goals of gratitude and resilience. For gratitude, because the genuine contemplation of loss returns the visibility of what is present, the health you have right now that you stopped noticing, the relationship that is available to you today that you have been taking for granted, the freedom that is so constant you have forgotten it is not guaranteed. And for resilience, because the person who has genuinely sat with the possibility of loss, who has asked honestly whether they could bear it and found, as the Stoics consistently found, that they are more capable than the fear of loss suggested, is genuinely less afraid of loss than the person who has never looked at it directly. The untouchable quality is built partly from this, from the honest, daily engagement with the reality of impermanence. From the practice of valuing what is present because you have genuinely acknowledged it will not always be. And from the practiced knowledge that if the worst arrived, you would not be destroyed by it. 5 minutes. Every day, look at what you could lose. Return to what you have. And live the day from the vivid, grateful, genuinely grounded awareness of both. Habit 5. Practice one hard conversation instead of one comfortable avoidance. The fifth habit is the one that most directly builds the untouchable quality in the domain of human relationships. The domain where most people are most vulnerable and where genuine strength is most consistently needed. Every day, wherever it is relevant, practice approaching one difficult conversation rather than avoiding it. Not manufacturing conflict where there is none, but choosing when the choice exists between honest engagement and comfortable avoidance, to engage. The Stoics understood that avoidance is one of the primary mechanisms through which human beings accumulate the inner debt that makes them progressively more fragile. Every avoided conversation is a small surrender of genuine self-command, a small vote for the self-concept of a person who cannot bear difficulty, a small deposit in the account of anxiety rather than the account of genuine courage. The person who practices honest engagement daily, who says the thing that needs saying, has the conversation that has been deferred, addresses the difficulty that has been quietly accumulating, is building two things simultaneously. The first is genuine relationship quality. Because relationships that are honestly engaged with are genuinely stronger than relationships maintained through careful avoidance of everything difficult. The Stoics understood that justice in relationships, the genuine, fair, honest treatment of the people in your life, requires the courage to speak when speaking is hard. The second is the untouchable quality itself. Because the person who has practiced difficult conversations daily does not fear them the way the avoider does. The muscle has been built. The capacity is there. And when the genuinely difficult conversation arrives, the one that matters enormously, that cannot be deferred, that person meets it from a position of practiced capability rather than terrified inexperience. One honest engagement instead of one comfortable avoidance. Every day, small ones most days, larger ones when the situation genuinely requires it. Building, over months and years, the quality of a person who does not flinch from the difficult truth. Habit 6. Choose your response in every situation. The sixth habit is the one that the Stoics considered the master practice of the examined life, the one that all the philosophy is ultimately pointing toward, and the one that, practiced consistently as a daily habit, produces more genuine transformation in the quality of a person's inner life than almost anything else available. In every situation, every interaction, every event, every moment that carries an emotional charge, you practice choosing your response rather than delivering your reaction, not suppressing the reaction, not pretending the emotion is not there, but inserting the discipline of assent, the practice of examining the impression before accepting it and acting from it, into every significant moment of the day. The traffic makes you late. Before the frustration becomes automatic behavior, you pause. You examine. You choose how to engage with this moment rather than simply being swept through it by the automatic current of the reaction. The colleague says something dismissive. Before the resentment calcifies, you pause. You examine. You ask whether this is the response the situation genuinely calls for, or simply the habitual one. This habit is the most directly connected to the untouchable quality because the untouchable person is, at root, a person who has built this practice to the point where it is no longer effortful, where the pause has become natural, where the examination has become rapid, where the chosen response has become so consistently available that the reactive one has lost much of its former power. This does not happen overnight. It is built in small moments. In the daily practice of inserting even 1 second of genuine choice between what happens and how you respond. 1 second, repeated thousands of times across months of daily life, becomes a minute of genuine response space in genuinely difficult moments. And that minute, that genuine, spacious, fully available moment of authentic choice, is the heart of what untouchable actually means. Practice it every day, in small moments first. Build it into a capacity, and let the capacity transform every domain of your life. Habit 7. Release one thing that is not in your control every day. The seventh habit is the one that addresses what is perhaps the single greatest source of daily suffering in the modern human life. The sustained, exhausting, quietly devastating attempt to control things that are not controllable. Every day, deliberately identify one thing that you have been trying to control, worry about, or hold on to that is genuinely outside your sphere of agency, and practice releasing it. Not forever necessarily, not with the performance of not caring, but with the genuine Stoic acknowledgement that this specific thing, the outcome of this situation, the decision of this person, the response of this market, the opinion of this individual, is not yours to control. And that the energy you are spending trying to control it is energy taken from the things that actually are yours. Epictetus made this the foundation of the entire Stoic framework. The dichotomy of control, some things in our power, some things not, is not a peripheral idea in Stoicism. It is the central one. The one from which everything else flows. The daily practice looks like this. In the evening review of your day, ask, what did I spend energy on today that was genuinely not in my control? Name it specifically, and practice, in the deliberate Stoic way, the open hand. The release of the grip that was consuming energy and producing nothing. Over time, this practice does something remarkable to the quality of daily experience. The cumulative weight of all the things being anxiously held, all the outcomes being desperately attempted, all the uncontrollable variables being exhaustingly managed, begins to lift. Not because the situations resolve, but because you stop expending yourself on what was never yours to move. And the energy recovered from that release is genuinely available for the things that are yours. Your quality of work, your genuine relationships, your daily practice, your inner life. Release one thing every day and watch the untouchable quality emerge from the space that the releasing creates. Habit 8. Do one thing every day that your future self will thank you for. The 8th habit is the one that connects the daily practice to the longer arc of the life being built. And it is the one that most directly answers the question that every serious person eventually has to face honestly. Am I building something, or am I just surviving? Every day, identify and do one specific thing that serves the person you are becoming rather than the convenience of who you are right now. One thing that your future self, the person on the other side of consistent daily practice, will look back on and recognize as one of the bricks in the foundation of the life they are now living. It does not need to be large. The Stoics understood that the large dramatic gestures are almost never what builds genuine character. It is the small, consistent, quietly made choices that accumulate into the person who stands in the future looking back. The skill practiced today when you did not feel motivated. The relationship invested in this week when the easier choice was distraction. The financial decision made with discipline rather than impulse. The creative work done this morning before the day's demands arrived. The difficult conversation had rather than deferred again. Each of these is a brick, and the untouchable person has been laying bricks daily, often invisibly, for long enough that the structure they have built is genuinely solid, genuinely capable of bearing weight, genuinely resistant to the storms that dismantle the lives of people who have been surviving rather than building. One brick every day for your future self, who is building the untouchable life from the materials you are providing right now. Habit 9. End every day with honest self-accounting. The 9th habit closes the daily loop that the first habit opens, and together they form the complete Stoic daily structure, the bookends of genuine philosophical practice that hold everything else in place. Every evening, before sleep, conduct an honest self-accounting, not a performance review, not a gratitude list, an honest philosophical examination of the day you actually lived against the day you intended to live. 3 questions, every evening, written down if possible, spoken inwardly if not. Where did I express genuine virtue today? Not where did I perform well? Where was I genuinely wise, genuinely courageous, genuinely just, genuinely self-governed? Name the specific moments. Give yourself honest credit for genuine character. Where did I fall short of my own values? Not globally. Specifically, what happened? What was the impression? What was the automatic response that departed from the person you are choosing to become? Not for self-punishment, for learning, for the specific, practical knowledge of where the practice most needs development. And what will I carry forward? One specific intention for tomorrow. One adjustment based on today's honest examination. One small course correction that brings tomorrow's practice slightly closer to the person you are building. The untouchable person knows themselves. Not perfectly, but accurately. They have built, through consistent honest self-examination, a genuine map of their own character, where it is strong, where it needs work, where the automatic responses depart from the chosen values and require continued practice. That self-knowledge is one of the primary foundations of the untouchable quality, because the person who genuinely knows themselves is not easily destabilized by other people's assessments of them, not easily manipulated by praise or criticism, not easily confused about who they are when difficulty arrives to challenge it. And every day honestly, and build, one evening at a time, the self-knowledge that makes genuine inner stability possible. Habit 10. Practice daily gratitude for the ordinary. The 10th and final habit is the one that the Stoics embedded throughout their practice, and that modern psychology has repeatedly confirmed as one of the most powerful daily practices available for genuine well-being. And it is the one that is most frequently misunderstood because it is most frequently practiced in its shallow version rather than its genuine one. Every day, practice genuine gratitude for the ordinary, not the extraordinary, not the achievements and the wins and the moments of obvious blessing. The ordinary, the unremarkable, the things that are so consistently present that the non-practicing mind has long since stopped seeing them. The body that works, the mind that thinks, the relationships that are simply there, quietly present, not in crisis, not demanding attention, just there. The food, the shelter, the freedom to move through a day in relative safety. The morning light, the specific quality of this ordinary moment that will not return. The Stoics practiced this through negative visualization, through the deliberate contemplation of absence that makes presence vivid. But the daily gratitude habit is the positive complement, the active, morning or evening recognition of what is genuinely, ordinarily, quietly present in your life. Not performed for social media, not assembled from the list of things you are supposed to be grateful for. Genuine, specific, the three actual things that, when you sit honestly with the quality of your life, are real and present and worth acknowledging. The untouchable quality has this at its foundation, not because the untouchable person never experiences loss or difficulty, but because their daily practice of genuine gratitude for what is ordinary means that they are never deceived into believing that what is present is not enough, that what they have is not genuinely worth protecting and genuinely worth building on. The untouchable person is not untouchable because nothing matters to them. They are untouchable because they know, daily, through practice, exactly what matters. And that knowing is the most stable foundation available to a human being. Practice gratitude for the ordinary. Every day, not as a performance, as the genuine, philosophically grounded recognition that the ordinary life, fully seen and fully appreciated, is one of the most extraordinary things a human being can possess. The integration, 10 habits, one untouchable life. 10 habits, and together they form something larger than 10 individual practices. A morning of genuine inner orientation, a body trained as philosophical practice, a mind fed on wisdom rather than noise, a daily contemplation of impermanence that makes the present vivid, one honest engagement where avoidance was possible, a chosen response in every significant moment, one released attachment to what cannot be controlled, one act of building toward the future self, an honest evening accounting of the day lived, and genuine gratitude for the ordinary life present right now. That is not 10 habits. That is one complete daily practice, one integrated way of living that, sustained consistently over months and years, builds the person that the Stoics were pointing toward in everything they wrote and everything they lived. The untouchable person, not because nothing reaches them, but because what reaches them meets a self so genuinely grounded, so honestly self-knowing, so daily practiced in the choice of response over reaction, that it cannot move them from themselves. That person is available to you, not as a personality type you either have or do not have, as the natural result of these 10 habits practiced with genuine consistency and genuine philosophical grounding. Start with 1, the most urgent one, the one that the reading of this list made you feel the most immediate pull toward. Practice it until it is solid. Add another, and another. 10 habits, 1 life. Untouchable. The person who cannot be broken, cannot be bought, and cannot be moved by the chaos around them did not arrive that way. They built it, daily, with exactly the kind of habits we have gone through today, with the philosophical grounding of the Stoics behind every practice, with the honest daily commitment to becoming, one habit at a time, the person that no circumstance and no other human being can fundamentally destabilize. That is what untouchable means. And that is what these 10 habits build, not in a week, not in a month necessarily, but over the full arc of genuine daily practice, over the months and years of consistent, philosophically grounded, honestly applied daily habit. The transformation is real. It is permanent, and it is yours. If this video gave you something real, something that named the specific practice you have been missing, something that gave you the Stoic framework for building the life you can already feel is possible, please share it. Leave a comment below telling me which of the 10 habits you are beginning with today and what becoming untouchable means for your specific life. I read every single comment, and I genuinely mean that. Subscribe to this channel right now if you have not already. Hit the bell notification. We release deep Stoic content regularly, and every video is built for people who are serious about the examined life and serious about building something real from it. 3 seconds. Subscribe now. 10 habits. Every day, no exceptions. Build the untouchable life. Thank you for being here. Take care of your minds. See you in our next video.